And
yeah, they're heading out to go and find some seaweed.
yeah.
Because they realized that that's what the grounders were using. As Clark called it a poultice.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was like some sort of antibiotic or something like that. But anyways, Clark realized that it would be more effective as a tea, or she thought it would be more effective as a tea. So they were going to go find some of this seaweed to fix up Jasper. And originally, her and Finn were going to go and find it, and then Walls is like, well, I'm coming because I know what it looks like.
Yeah, do you know what seaweed looks like? Yeah, I guess you are coming.
Do you know how to find it when it's growing in the river? Because I do. Like,
Do
that's
you?
some magic.
Right, because seaweed grows in rivers on Earth now.
I know. They're like headed through the forest, and
Yeah.
Walls is trying to befriend Clark again.
And she's like, yeah, you got my dad floated. Fuck off.
I know, she's just like, fuck off. But Walls is like forever optimistic about it. He's just like, we're gonna be friends again, you'll see.
Yeah. So the next thing I have is they're walking through the woods, and lo and behold, they find an old car. And he's like, this is an automobile. Didn't he say that?
That part kills me.
Yeah.
Every time. It's the little things, like, why automobile and not car? They're so far in the future, yet they're using a word we barely use today.
Right. So let's not go down that rabbit hole. They found a car, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, they found a car.
Or an automobile.
And I love that the guys were totally stoked about the car, and Clark's just like, let's get to the fucking seaweed.
Exactly.
She's like, it's been here for years, it'll still be here after we get the seaweed. Like, let's go.
Yep. And they flash over to Belle's little hunting party, and he runs into Charlotte, and he tells her, you need to go home. No, she wants to hunt, and
he almost like beheads her with his axe.
Right, there you go. I forgot about that.
They're like on the tail of this boar, and he like whips this makeshift axe he made. It looks completely ridiculous, but he like just whips it.
Hey, but long story short, he allows Charlotte to hunt with them, which plays in here in a little to the episode a little later.
Oh, there was actually a part in there that I found funny. He says, have you ever killed anyone before, or have you ever killed anything before? And she says no. And he goes, well, who knows? Maybe you're good at it. Like, that's a great thing to say to a kid, Belle.
Yeah, Belle. Idiot.
Turns out she is pretty good at killing, too.
Yet again, plays into the scene. So we have Clark's team at the river or at the water.
Team Automobile.
Say what?
Team Automobile.
Team Automobile, baby. And Team Cave. Out hunting. But they're at the water gathering seaweed. And next thing you know, like, they hear a disturbance in the nature, like birds start flying out, and you start hearing the animals rustle around, and they look off in the distance, and here comes the huge freaking cloud of acid fog again. So they take off running, and no, they just cut to a commercial. They jump back up to the Ark once again. With a flashback, and it's a flashback. It's Clark and Wells talking about
Clark's dilemma.
Yeah, talking about Clark's dilemma, about her hearing her father talk about what's going on with the Ark. This scene shows us how close Clark and Wells were. I mean, they weren't a couple. He was in love with her, but they were also, because their families were close, they were probably best friends. Yeah, they
Yeah.
were. She said that
Yeah.
they were best friends. You know, the
You
closer
would
the
have
friend.
to be. I mean, like, if you knew that your parent was going to do something that could get them locked up for life, well, because that would be the equivalent to what they would do, right? Because, well,
Right.
we don't have the death penalty here, so you would be locked up for life.
Yeah.
Like, if you knew your parent did something that was going to get them locked up for life, I'm pretty sure the list of people you were going to tell will be really freaking small.
Yeah. And for the people who's heard her say we don't have the death penalty here, she lives in Toronto, so they just lock you up for life. In some states here in America, for the world audience, they kill your ass. On some crimes, we do have the death penalty.
In some states.
In some states, yes.
There's not a lot that do it, and we're not going to go into that.
Yeah, absolutely not.
I just didn't want to scare people from moving to America. They kill you there? What?
Yeah. It's a possibility.
It's only like 2 or 3 states left that still do that, I'm pretty sure.
I'm not sure. I know Texas is one of them. Anyway.
I think Florida, too.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. You know better than me. So we digress.
Yeah, let's get back to the 100 where shit's realistic.
Absolutely. So she made Wells promise not to tell, and I guess I'd say there you have it. So back on the ground, they cut to the scene with Clark's crew running from the fog. So they run back to the car and jump in to shield themselves from the acid fog. And Belle's team runs into a cave.
Yeah.
So to shield themselves from the fog.
Belle and Charlotte run into a cave. I don't know what happened to the other ones.
True.
Oh yeah, 2 of them found a cave somewhere else, and Adam got stuck in the fog.
Yeah. So while they're in this car, they find booze, liquor, hooch. Stash.
Rocket.
And they decide, Finn decides, hey, no, this was fun. He said, I think it's whiskey. 148 years, I think this is whiskey. Wells is like, man, that could be poison. Why would you, don't drink that? And he's like, man, yeah, whatever. He pops the cap off and takes the sweet.
He's like, we're on Earth. Everything's toxic.
Yeah, so I'm about to be toxic or intoxicated. So he starts drinking, and then Clark jumps in and she starts drinking too. Wells not too happy about it, but who gives a shit? There's acid fog outside. We're in an abandoned automobile, and we're going to have a drink.
I found it funny because Wells was trying to be all possessive. He's like, we're good.
Right.
That made Clark want to drink even more. She was like, give me that.
Yeah, because she wouldn't have, but she was like, screw you. Because Clark wouldn't have did that.
Like,
but she was
Wells
like, screw
said
you.
no, I'm going to have it.
Yep.
Like, that could have been like crack, and she would have been like, Wells said I couldn't smoke it, I want to smoke it.
Right.
Like,
whatever he wants, I'm doing the opposite.
And also, too, like, I always love when they refer to the Ark, because I just love the whole atmosphere of the Ark. Like, I wish we could have seen more of life on the Ark. And so I love when Finn is talking, when he takes a swig of the whiskey, or whatever it is, but we think, well, we'll take his word for it, it's whiskey.
Right.
Finn takes a swig of the whiskey, and he's like, yep, better than moonshine on Agro Station. So... because I'm in the group on Facebook and we argue about this a lot, how if they were allowed to just go anywhere on the Ark or if they were segregated to their certain stations. And that just showed me, like, they were allowed to move around and go other places, because he's saying, like, he got drunk on Agro Station once.
Yeah, well, I'm glad they were, because it just wouldn't have made sense otherwise, to be territorial up there. But
well, it was a little territorial with the upper class and the lower class, but
yeah. I mean station by station. I mean,
yeah.
you did all join. So what was the point if you're gonna be territorial? So we jump over to the cave, and Belle is talking to Shar about, I'm just getting right to it instead of going through all these details. But he's talking to Shar about slaying her demons, and don't be afraid, slay your demons when you're awake. And he gives her a knife and tells her to say, hey, screw you, I'm not afraid. Slay your demons, kid. That's what he told. He's like, hey.
Yeah.
And that's gonna come to fruition later on in the episode, if I can say that.
I also, too, think that's what he used to tell Octavia when he had to put her under the floor.
Yep.
To tell herself that she wasn't afraid.
Yeah.
So he was kind of passing that down to Charlotte, which I found nice.
Man, Octavia is just, I can't imagine. She's a bad girl. Spent 16 years under the floor. Well, when people came to the house. But anyway. So we're back at the car, and Clark's starting to worry about Jess because it's been a while they're waiting for this fog to clear out. What is it? Finn told her, hey,
Finn tells Clark to relax, and that's when she says she doesn't know how, because her and Wells were arguing, and because she was feeling the whiskey, and her and Wells started talking. Wells asked her if she remembered something, and that's when she was like, "Do you remember when you floated my dad? Yeah, good times."
Yeah,
or something like that. And then after that was when Finn was like, hey, why don't we relax? She's like, relax? I don't know how. And it was something about fun, but then Clark's like, I'm fun. You think I'm fun, right? And Finn's not really saying anything, and Wells is like, you're fun. Okay?
Right. After she told him about, you had my dad killed, he's like, I made a mistake. Clark says, well, I just need an explanation. I can't give you one. So we're back at camp, and Murph is he's had it up to here with all of Jasper's yelling, and he goes to try to get in and get upstairs where they're holding Jasper or trying to heal him, to kill him. Is there anything you want to add there?
Yeah, I just found it funny, not funny, but I found the Murphy part funny, but everybody else was kind of starting to piss me off. I'm like, this guy got speared practically, right in the heart. Can you give him a break? I found it, you guys could have a little compassion. I found them so lacking in compassion, it was starting to piss me off.
Yeah. Well, that's Bale and Murph, of course.
But then Murphy kind of broke the ice for me a bit when he, got up in a huff and he, went to go kill him. I know it sounds bad that Murphy changed my mind by going to kill him. It was just the way he got up, like a 8-year-old in, a hissy fit. He, got up all,
I hate you, Murph. I hope you're listening. From that little skirmish, they jump back up to the Ark, and they're having a flashback of Jake recording his message to the people. He tries to stop when Clark comes up. She's like, Dad, I already know. I know what's going on. She was like, Dad, I want to help you. And he's like, Jake said, absolutely not. Because he knows what that means. If she helps, then, they'll be floated together. And as that scene is happening, the horrific consequences of his actions come to fruition, because they break into their home to take him out or to arrest him, and Clark screaming, having a fit as any girl